questions. One more update is, so all of you can see the shared screen. Okay, I will make a note of all your questions, nothing to worry. But if you just spam the chat very quickly, I will not be able to make it. Receive two super messages to same email ID. Okay. Not received. ADID. Okay, I have noted that. Not able to log in using ADID. What is this? Here continuously. It says my account is blocked. That means, Vishal, if you have continuously tried to log in with incorrect password, then your account gets blocked. You try again after some time. It gets unlocked after a few hours automatically. Ajit, Shashank, I have just sent the request to unmute you. Shashank, you can unmute and speak. Shashank, just a second. Disconnect the charger and I will be back. Shashank, can you unmute and speak? You have raised your hand for something. Shashank not able to unmute, is it? Okay, let me just take the questions from the chat. I have already uploaded hands-on in PBL during PJP. Team, you are continuously sending messages. I cannot read not even one message. Only if you stop sending messages. I think I can read them. AD location. So can you all please stop sending your messages in the chat team, because I cannot read even one message if you're continuously sending messages. We have 700 plus candidates in the call. Citrix is not working. Okay, let us discuss about this. Citrix is not working. So for this, have you all received SOP document for how to connect to Citrix? Have you all received a document? Yes. So in that document, you have the steps. And did you receive tech support email ID along with the host name? Whom to contact if you are having any issues with Citrix? There should be an email ID. So it would be something like tech support at some location at wipro.com. You should. Have you received host name? Have you received an email with the host name saying D hyphen some number with a table? Okay, not a problem, team. Citrix is not required very immediately. If it is not working, we can park it aside for now. Okay, we will talk about Citrix maybe next week, not next week, next to next week. Okay, so anybody having questions with respect to Citrix, please hold it for another 10 days. We will discuss about Citrix from maybe from 28th. Okay, from March 28th, we will try to talk about Citrix. Okay, so we'll discuss on March 28th. Okay, 2 ADIDs received. Team, can you all confirm if anybody have received 2 ADIDs? Superset is different from ADID. Can team just verify you might have received one ADID and one superset ID and you are confused that both are superset IDs. Is that the case? Because those who all said that received 2 superset IDs, two superset ID with one ADID. Received 2 ADID mails with 2 superset IDs. Okay. So 2 ADID emails means with 2 different ADIDs are received. No, right. Same ADID you received 2 emails, then it is fine. Okay. Same credentials, same ADID if you have received in 2 emails, I don't think that's a problem. Right? Somebody have just stopped my screen sharing. Team, see, I have noted your questions. Don't ask the same question again. Receive 2 superset IDs to the same email ID. That I have already written, right? I have shared my screen and I have written. Don't type the same question again and again. Invalid user for ADID. Okay, team. What are you trying to access with your ADID? What all applications you are trying to access with ADID? Can you tell me what all applications you are trying to access ADID? What is the URL you are given for Wipro email to access Wipro email account? What is that? PBL app is not working, so it is slow. Team is working on it. I also have got the feedback, so I am writing that also. PBL app is slow, not able to log in. So I'm writing all these things. Okay, so don't again talk about the same thing again and again. Okay, I have written about your tour superset IDs, not received ATID, PBL app is slow and not able to log in. So these things I have written. Don't talk about the same thing again and again. And somebody was asking about location. Don't ask about location now. Okay, you will get the location details over email when you join, and location will vary from your training location to that of your project location. So project location will depend on your project. So right now you don't know what's your project, right? You didn't even join yet. So for location, you have to wait. It is too early to tell you about location. You will receive over email. Okay, I cannot tell 700 people's location. Don't please expect that from me. Okay. Invalid PBL app ID also, we will check it next week, team. Okay, not able to log in means the same thing, right? Invalid PBL app ID. Okay, these things will, okay. This the PBL app once I'll update you on Monday. Team is working on it. Cannot change ADID password, right? So team, ideally, you can modify your. So tell me what is the URL given to you to access Wipro email account? Yeah, regarding holiday, yes. And update is tomorrow is holiday. No session on March 18th. Okay. But I will give you task. But we'll have to finish the given task. Okay. Of course, you have Saturday, Sunday. You enjoy Holi. Okay. Sit on Saturday and Sunday to finish the work. Okay. Hope I am clear. And team, I was asking you what was the URL given to you for accessing your mailbox, webmail.wipro.com. That is what given to you, right? Oh my God. I was just trying to copy, but meanwhile, a lot of messages. So this is the email you got, right? I'm not at all able to copy, that's okay. Webmail.wipro.com. wipro.com/OWA. This is what you got, right? So it is taking you to this here, right? Wipro Limited. And here, can you see something here? Account services. Are you able to access this account services.wipro.com where you can actually change your are you able to access this account services.wipro.com? Actually, I am not connected to Pulse Secure. No, right? Okay, fine. I'll give you one more, that is aka.ms/sspr. This is another website where you can unlock your account and also change your password. Okay, so you have to enter your username. Okay, and give these details. Click next, and it will ask you what is the Pavni. You can try with this URL aka.ms/sspr. Okay, if you are not able to, so ADID issues like account locked or update password, change password, whatever. Okay, for all these things, you can actually use this URL. Okay, use this URL, team. I have given it in the chat. Is that clear, team? So, any other questions? Ma'am, I have to submit internship details in my college. They are asking our mentor designation in the mail ID. Can you please provide these details? You can just give the mentor name Kameshwari V, and my designation is test lead. You can give that. I cannot share the email ID. My mailbox might get crashed if I share the email ID here. Hope it is clear. You can give my name Kameshwari V and test lead. Those things you can always share. Kumar Kant, you wanted to unmute? Where are you, Kumar Kant? Okay. I have sent you the request to unmute. Can you check, Kumar, if you are able to unmute now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it is audible to you?
Yeah, you are audible, Kumar. Tell me.
Ma'am, actually yesterday I was received the AD and I tried to reset my password through the URL which you had mentioned now, and but it's showing invalid AD means invalid user ID or password. Actually I had
Would you
tried
like to share your screen?
and then I have to do now. Okay. Ma'am, I'm trying in front of you. Wait.
Yeah. Team, others who are also facing the same issue, just please look at the screen here. Stop spamming the chat.
My screen is visible to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Visible, Kumar. First, we need to log in with default password. Are you given any default password?
Yeah, ma'am, we have to create by own self default password using our AD ID.
Okay.
So
So you have done that,
I had
right?
I had followed the guidelines, ma'am, to create
Okay.
to do the.
Okay. Okay.
And this is the user ID and password is KU 40. Oh, sorry. KU @
Don't speak out your password, man. Rashid, you cannot change the stream.
Ma'am, see, it's showing. Oh, now it's working, ma'am. Actually, I had tried 4 to 5 times that time, but not it's working. Now it's working. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can I
Okay.
stop sharing now?
Yes, you can stop sharing.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for that.
Team, whoever is having the same issue, request you to just check it once again and then come back. Prathama Bhadra, you have anything to dis? Did you raise your hand? I have sent you the request, Prathama. Advai Pawar. I have sent you the request to unmute Advai Pawar. Can you try unmuting?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Advai, tell me.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Advai, tell
Ma'am,
me.
actually, the problem is that I received two email IDs, two mails for Superset ID, in which one Superset ID having different number and other is having different number. That's not an issue. I got that in one ID I got only 4 numbers, and in other I got my whole Superset ID. But I am has in orientation they tell us that you need to change your email ID as I log in it through my college ID. So in survey, the survey which they have given us, I told them that I want to change the ID, and I also uh, fill the form of while for ADID. So, but they didn't change my ID. They have given the same ID of my college one.
I didn't get you. Your issue is about ADID or Superset ID? Firstly, tell me that.
No, my personal email ID. No, in my personal email ID, they haven't changed that. They kept that. They kept it.
What do you want them to change?
My personal email ID.
Person, that is okay, no problem. No, you just try to. If you have two email IDs, just check both of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I
but
checked
now
that.
now you have got your ADID. You got your own Wipro account. No, keep
Yes.
checking these three. Okay, your two personal email IDs and
Okay.
Wipro email. Keep checking these three. Now they will not be able to change this. What they want you to change, they don't change anything. If you are able to access PBL app with the first email ID, you go proceed with that. If you are not able to go with the second email ID, personal email ID.
No, I can access
Okay?
by first email ID, my personal email ID.
Yeah,
Because
just continue with that. Yeah,
because I
continue.
changed that because I changed it in Superset ID, so I can log in through people ID through my personal ID.
Okay, then just continue. No problem.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy Holi, ma'am.
Happy Holi. Uddeshya. Uddeshya, raise your hand. Team, if you raise your hand, I can unmute you. Because if I unmute everybody, I will not be able to understand anybody. Please raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Bharat Kumar, you have any question? Bharat Kumar, I am sending the request to unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Bharat, tell me.
Ma'am, we need to give the username as ADID or anything, ma'am. I can't understand that, ma'am.
User ID for what?
AD, yesterday we got the ADID, ma'am.
Okay.
Yesterday, before that, one of my friend has shared the screen and shown that, ma'am. How we need to access that link, ma'am?
That is for accessing Wipro email account, webmail.wipro.com/OWA. Check the email.
Yeah, ma'am. How we need to reset the password, ma'am?
There is a document sent to you. You have to go through the documents here. We cannot discuss ABCD here in the class. This session is especially to discuss the technical topics. You people are just wasting the time discussing all other things except our Java.
Okay, ma'am. We'll go through it.
Okay, you try it later. Okay.
Okay.
Bhargavi, Chaluvadi Bhargavi, do you have any question? I am unmuting. I sent you request to unmute.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Bhargavi, tell me.
Ma'am, I got official email ID and personal email ID. Both are different, ma'am. I have to create that email ID. I have to create that email ID, ma'am. I don't have that official email ID, ma'am.
Official email. You will not create official email ID. Wipro will create it for you. Did you get the ADID or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Try to log in using ADID at wipro.com.
No problem with official email ID, ma'am.
Why? See, there is the same mailbox you can access using ADID at wipro.com. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Chaitra. Where is Chaitra? Chaitra. Chaitra, I am unmuting you. Please unmute. I've sent you the request. If you have any question, you can unmute. Request sent. Chaitra.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, tell me, Chaitra.
Yes, ma'am. I received my ad ID yesterday.
ADID
But
yesterday.
yeah,
Okay.
sorry, ma'am. ID yesterday. But my personal email ID is different, ma'am. It's supposed to be something else, and it's showing my college email ID.
That is okay. No problem. That's not a problem.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Team, regarding Naveen, internship affect the job offer letter or not, because college project work and internal assessments extra. So Naveen Kumar and anybody else who is having doubt on doubts regarding whether to continue with this internship or not, see, if you have signed any agreement, when you are opting for this internship, as I understand, it was clearly written that once you have signed in, if you're not joining, it's going to affect your offer letter. If you have signed, if you have read such a condition, then that will stay hold good. Okay, so please take your next steps accordingly. Okay. So shall we start with today's topic or not? Tomorrow, anyways, we don't have any session. Okay, today we are supposed to discuss on arrays. So at least we discuss on arrays today. Tomorrow, even though you go on a celebrations of Holi, so Saturday and Sunday you can sit and finish arrays hands-on. You want me to start with that, or you wanted to still go with these questions? Farhan, you have raised your hand. Do you have any question, Farhan? I have sent you request to unmute. If you have any questions, you can unmute and speak. Gautam Singh. Gautam Singh, if you have any question, you can unmute and speak. Yes, Gautam, tell me.
Ma'am, on the whole thing is same, but I'm received two ADID number, and the ADI number is same, but superset ID is different. In the both same, um, both are mail the same, but same the all the things, but superset ID is a different for both mails, ma'am.
Okay, so some of your friends have responded saying one superset ID, they have given only half, and the second superset ID is complete, it seems. Is it the same way for you also?
Yes, ma'am, but digit is change, ma'am.
Completely changed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just try with any one of it. See, superset ID is only for you to log into PBL app, right? See, try with both, whichever works, you continue with it.
I'm already using the superset ID, old superset ID in PBL.
Continue, yeah, continue with the older one then, not a problem.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Team, do not get much confused about two superset IDs, team. Whichever superset ID is working for you, you just continue with that. Okay, now for thousands of people, you know, they will not again send another email that this is correct or this is wrong. Okay, you just use, you only have two superset IDs, right? Not 100. Okay, for I will also check it from my end why they have sent two superset IDs. But till then, till Monday, you don't get panic about it. Don't get worried about it. You just go with any one of that, whichever is working. You just go with it. Okay. You need not fill Wipro attendance, Pratik. Your attendance will be captured if you are logging into this WebEx session and staying till the end of the session. Saturday and Sunday is holiday, and tomorrow Friday is also holiday because of Holi. Okay, but by Monday, I want you all to finish all the hands on whatever I will be giving you today. Okay. So shall we start with Java? Because 700 people, you know, I don't know. Everybody is raising hand. Hare Krishna, you have a question? I am unmuting you. Sent you request to unmute.
Ma'am, the issue is the same thing, ma'am. Yesterday I received ADID. In that one, the personal mail ID is my college mail ID is given.
That's okay. Don't worry. Ignore them. That is okay. Not a
Yes,
problem. Just keep checking all the 3 mails daily.
When we are logging for PBL, ma'am, at that PBL you can give personal mail ID, ma'am.
Yeah, personal mail ID. Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
For PBL, you have to use personal email ID, whichever you have registered.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. And team, if your question is already answered, please down your hand. Please down your hand if your question is already answered. Shivraj Yadav, I am sending you request to unmute. Ayush, you have anything to say? I've sent you request to unmute. Vishwanath, should we join as guest every time to WebEx? No, join. You are already told, right? You have to give your name and the ID. So, superset ID or resume ID, whatever, any one of the ID, you just follow the read the email completely here. Here you were given this WebEx link to join. There they should have mentioned. See how everybody else is joining. Nobody has joined as guest. Everybody has given their name and their ID. You also please go accordingly. Vasi Reddy, Maheshwar Reddy, I am sending you the request to unmute. If you have any question, you can unmute and speak. Yes, 1 hour is already passed. Did not get ADAD, that is okay. I have noted, Sirisha. Don't just type the same thing. I have already noted that question, right? In my notepad file. I will. Vasi Reddy, Maheshwar Reddy, I am sending the request. Do you get it, Maheshwar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, tell me, Maheshwar.
Ma'am, only one login or many times login, ma'am, in PBL account by using the different systems, ma'am, like laptops.
But why you want to lock it many times?
Ma'am, if I don't have laptop, ma'am, after some couple of days, like I have laptop, ma'am. So that's why I have to do.
Yeah, no problem. You can log in.
Okay. No issue, ma'am.
No issues.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I think this is enough here. We can start with today's session. Let me hands-on on topic flow control. Team, did I share flow control hands-on yesterday? Can one of you share the flow control hands-on team in the chat? One of your friends have requested. Colonel, why are you sharing your screen, Colonel? Thanks, Sindhu, for sharing the questions. By then we will finish, Manchala, Mahesh. By then we will finish our activity, so nothing to worry. Shubham Sahu, you wanted to discuss assignment questions? Yes, I will unmute you. Can you raise your hands, Shubham Sahu? I have sent you request, Shubham Sahu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Shubham, tell me.
Ma'am, program was to reprint first 5 numbers that are divisible by 2, 3, and 5.
Tell me. Share your screen.
Okay.
Rohit, I think you have your name is there, right? Badula Rohit. So that should be fine, Rohit. If your name is given and your ID is given when you are logging in, that is enough.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yeah, visible should tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So to check whether the given number is divisible by
2, 3, and 5.
2, 3, and
Five numbers.
what?
Ma'am, to print first 5 numbers.
First 5 numbers that are divisible by 2, 3, and 5.
Yes.
Okay, so you are starting from 1. You are implementing, and then the condition. No. Here in the format, what is the condition? You will have to just check whether the number is greater than 0 or not. That's it. That is enough. Because anyways you will use break, right? When the count is 5, you will anyways break. So you need not give the condition there.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, in the middle, you just remove that all those things completely and just simply say I greater than 0. Okay, greater than 0.
Okay.
Now what should you do here? If statement. In the if statement, you check if I modulus 2 equals to 0, I modulus and 3 and 4 and 5 equals to 0. I mean, whatever you wanted to check for divisibility. 2, 3, 5, right? Yeah. Then you are printing, and you also have a variable called count. I think you have J, right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you have to open the bracket after if condition. Open the bracket because you are printing and also you are incrementing J. So
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
open a bracket because you have more than one statement. Okay. Right. Now you are incrementing J. So if J. No, you are
I think this should also go inside. Okay.
No. You are implementing J, that is enough. After that, after if condition is done,
Yes, ma'am.
now you have to give this if condition once again is J equals to 5, break. Done. Now you wanted to print those values, right?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Where is your print statement? Inside if. Okay, done.
Okay.
5.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Yeah, I think some of your friends, Tarun has given, Tarun and others have already given the solution in the chat. Okay. So, team, maybe a lab it is asked to use while. Then you can use while loop also. That's the same way. Okay. So, now.
Ma'am, also want to ask some more question.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, if I am using scanner, then ma'am, it shows some error in scanner variable. Can I share?
Change the variable name. Yeah, share your screen.
Ma'am,
Just a second.
ma'am, right now I think it's not showing, but ma'am, it's showing here. It was showing here. Ma'am, it says that use resource leak. Ma'am, whenever I use this SC here, I declare this object SC, then it shows here with error form resource leak. But
That's
right
a
now,
That's a warning. You have error at line number 32.
ma'am, that code is not complete.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
Ma'am,
Tell
this
me.
one also, ma'am. If I want to check whether the string is capital A or small a, then can I do this?
No,
Or
equals of
we
you
have
have
to
to
check
pass only one
one?
value, one
Okay.
string. Okay,
We
then
have
you
to check
give the
two
next one.
times.
Yeah, outside you give ampersand logical and then you give one more. Or okay, yeah. Yeah, you
Thank you,
need to
ma'am.
close the resources. That is one thing. Correction. So team, I'll just share my screen. We are already done with 1 hour. More than 1 hour. We have only 40 minutes. So now let us just start with today's topic, arrays. So did I give you the links, team, links and hands-on questions for arrays yesterday? No? Okay, fine. So first I will share the links, team, so that except you will be able to access. Okay, PDF you ignore. Okay, and I'm giving you the hands-on questions also. Please copy them. So we have totally 11 questions for arrays. Okay, I have given you the links and hands-on questions for arrays. Please copy and save it in a file. PBL app is not working. That is the reason I am pasting in the chat, Akanksha. Otherwise, why will I copy paste all these things if PBL app is working? Why do I do this work of pasting again in the chat? Dharni, just try to upload. Anyways, it's only about uploading, right? If just log into your CC tracker later and see if you can, if the uploads are available. If they are not available, you do again. If they are available, you just continue with the remaining. Okay. So, can you have a class load as JVM in architecture? So, I have actually given it for self-study, Sai Raghav. So just try to go through it, and still if you find in any specific gaps at specific points which you don't understand, then you make a note and let me know on Monday. Okay. How can we change package? It's not about changing. That means you want to rename Navyashree. If you want to rename your package, you'll have to go for right clicking on it and do it. So let us then continue, Dharni. If it is the same thing, then we can continue with the same. Because you cannot upload as you like. First go through the document how you have to upload. You have to create a folder and you have to put all your Java files inside that folder topic wise. You have to zip that folder and then upload it. If you are not following all the rules, protocols, your uploads will not be successful. Even test cases are for any random cases as well. What is this for, Sashank Ratri? Given test cases in the sense. Okay, are you talking about metal programs or in the hands-on some test cases are given? The hands-on. Okay, ideally it should pass for anything. They gave some examples. You're talking about example test cases, right? That is an example. Okay. Ideally, your logic should work for any other input also. How to make a zip file? Just Shirdinath. You just need to right click on the folder and say send to zip file, or 7-zip will be there. Any one of that you can use. Okay, so team, coming to arrays. So till now we have seen storing values in individual variables, isn't it, team? So now whenever you have a very huge requirement of storing multiple data, say for example, if I have to store just 5 candidates names, okay, if the training strength is only 5, then I can create 5 different variables and store the values, store the names. But our training session, our participant strength is 700. So 700 means we cannot create 700 variables, isn't it, team? So that is the reason you will have to go for arrays. So basically you can use an array to store data of similar data type, values of similar data type, in continuous memory locations. So let me just show you. Team, hope I am audible, right? I think one or two saying they are, I'm not audible. They are audible. Yeah, thanks, Tarun. Snehal, you try for uploading during the weekend and update me on Monday. Okay. For now, do not worry about uploading, team. Do the hands-on, learn the topic. You get the confidence. Uploading, if there is an issue with the application, then it is with the PBL app team. They will worry about it. You only try. Okay. If you're not able to upload, that's okay. You're doing, you're getting the things, you're confident with Java, that is enough. Okay. Yesterday itself I have told you, you tell me about PBL uploading on Monday, but you are bringing the same topic again and again. I don't know why. Eclipse application is not installing. Just check your computer, your laptop's configurations and see. Giri Sai Rohit. It's actually a simple installation, or just check it on YouTube if you're not able to install. Take help from, So, so this is how we have been doing, isn't it, team? Int x equals to some value and int y equals to another value. This is how we have been assigning values. But when we have huge number of values to be stored, different values to be stored, then we cannot keep on creating multiple variables. It is tedious job. That is the reason here we can go for arrays. So how do you declare an array, or how do you initialize an array? This is how you can do it. So array symbol has this square brackets, and just like say if you are creating X as an array, so this will just remain the same. But here whenever you say array, you'll have to use a new keyword. New is the keyword which will allocate memory for your array X. Okay, new, and it is mandatory for you to specify the size. Say for example, I wanted to store 5 integer values. This is how I'm going to create. Okay, so the same step can be done in 2 ways, team. That is, you can also do it this way, where you say that this step is called as declaration, where you are not allocating the memory, and this is called as creating of your array, where you are actually allocating the memory. Shrinath, X is just the variable, ma'am. It can be anything. Okay, like int X equals to value, just a similar way. This is also a variable. Okay, you can give anything. Is that clear, team? This is declaration and this is instantiation. This is initialize. So now let me just take it. So in one step you can do it this way. Integer array a equals to new int of 5. So now what will happen in the memory? So whenever you create this array this way, whenever this new keyword is encountered, that is when the memory is allocated for your array. So this is how it looks like. So ideally, if I create individually this X and Y, they will be stored in different memory locations. It could be like this, X could be here and Y could be here at different locations. Okay, but whenever you create an array, they will be created in continuous memory locations this way. Okay, so I have created an array to store 5 integers. So this is how 5 memory locations are created, to store 5 different integers. And the array name is what? The array name is A here. Okay, and each element can be referred with the index, where index starts from 0. So though we are new to arrays, but we have been using arrays when we were dealing with command line arguments. Yes or no, team? So this is how you will be correct, Tarun. To allocate the memory, new keyword is used. So you just have to ensure that if the size is 5, then you can access A of 0 to A of 4 only, not A of 5, because here the indexing starts from 0. Size is 5, but the indexing will start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You can never access A of 5. It will only be till A of 4. Okay, so how do you assign the values? Say I wanted to assign the first value, that is A of 0. I wanted to assign some 7. Okay, this is how you're going to assign. So on till A of 4. Is that clear to you? This is how you will be able to pass. This is one way. Okay, so first you are defining the size and then you can assign the values. And the other way is that there are different ways, team. So if you're sure about all those 5 values much before when you're actually creating your array. Let's say integer array B here. Okay, so this array, this can be symbol, square brackets can be given beside data type or beside the variable also. This is also correct. So here, if I know the values already, I can also give directly this way, where I can pass the values here, 7, 8, 88, 90. Okay, this is how I can also pass all my 5 values. So this is no more required. If I want, I can still specify here that also by just saying new int this way. But you cannot specify size again here. Okay, if you're specifying the size, you cannot give these values here. If you're giving the values here, then you're not supposed to specify the size. Okay, or you can, this is completely optional, you can also just remove this and you can assign this way. So let us just remember these two things. Okay, so first way is first just specifying the size and later you can assign the values by giving the index this way. And the other way is, if you know what are the values that you are assigning to your array, you can directly assign the values with comma separated within curly braces. Is that clear, team? This is one way and this is another way. Okay. So, what are the rules that you have to follow? You can store only one type of data. If you're saying integer, you can store only in all integer type of data. If you wanted to store string type of data, then the same way you can say strings s array equals to, new string of size. Just the same way, instead of integer, you give string, or instead of float integer, you give float. Okay. So this is how you will have to do it. Integer array B and int B array, what is the difference? No difference. No difference, Jagdishan. Okay. After variable B in square brackets, can we give size of the array? No, here you cannot specify the size. That is incorrect. You can only specify here. Okay, not in the left hand side. Okay. So Tarun, tell us how to read array of integers runtime. So it is the same way. I think reading the array of values at runtime, I think we have done it in yesterday's session itself, if I am not wrong. Chavi Rathor, you have a question. Where is your name to unmute? Did you raise your hand? Please raise your hand, Chavi Rathor. So I have just sent the request to unmute.
Yes ma'am. Ma'am actually ma'am इसमें जो हम लोग array को ma'am what are we doing that we are specifying the values to the place, no, like in the place 0 we are specifying 7 and in the place 4 we are specifying 9. So the digit 9 should be in the last place, no, like 0 1 2 3 4.
Yes, correct.
Blocks.
So here we have the indices, right? So here you will have the first value, whatever 7 I have given, and at the 4th position, that means this one here you will have that 9. So whatever you're storing in the memory, that is what the actual value. So this 7 and 9 are the actual values, but 0 till 4 they are just the indices in a serial number. That's it. Okay. So this is about arrays team. So here what are the things that we have to just ensure is that your arrays size is to be known much before that means I cannot say that I don't know the size. I will first create the array and later I will decide the size. No, that is not possible. Okay. You will have to specify the size. Size is mandatory and the data type is also mandatory, and the values will be located in continuous memory locations this way. Okay. So when an array is created, the length of the array size is fixed. So we have a property called length team. So using length, you can find the size. So at any point of time, if I'm not sure what is the size of my array, then I can say a dot length. Dot length is what? Which will give you the size. Size means this 5. Okay. So let me just open my Eclipse. Yes, Kranti, I have noted that question already for your reference. Not received ADID. Okay, I will check with my team. So though we are saying we are just starting with arrays today, but ideally we have been using arrays since the very day one. Why? Because in command line arguments we are referring this args, right? What is this variable? This is actually an array of string type. Okay, so we have been referring to our arrays from the day one itself, in fact. Okay. Sashank, ma'am, we need to create package only once. You can create multiple packages. It is just like creating folders. I can store 5 elements in 5 different folders or in one folder. It is up to me, right? Just the same way. So you just try to organize your hands-on programs much better way using different packages. That's it. Okay. Right. So now, so I think there was a question from Tarun or somebody. How can we scan array of elements? This is how we can scan. We have actually discussed about this in yesterday's session. Right? If you remember. Right. So now let us just try to see how to create an array here. In fact, we have done this. So creating an array. So integer type, variable, new int of specifying the size. And if you wanted to scan the array values 5 times, then instead of saying sc.next int 5 times, you can put it in a for loop this way. For int I equals to 0, I less than 5. So it will go till 0 to 4. And I is what? This is the index. So first iteration I is 0. So array of 0 equals to, we are scanning the value and then it increments. So now array of 1 and then 2 and 3 and 4. So it will scan 5 values, and here we are just trying to print that array value which is stored in I here. This is, see here I is holding the index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But here I will hold the actual data, which is this. So this is index, but the actual data is here. Say for example, 67 is the value. Okay, and I'll give some values here. Okay, so in the first scenario here, in the first for loop, I is referred here, right here. When I gave this here within the brackets, which means this is not the value, this is the index. Okay, which is what this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And whenever here I am saying int I colon AR, so here this is my array name, and here I will hold not the index value but it holds the actual value. That means 67, 333, 20 and 44. So that's how you will be printing I value here. Hope you are getting clarity between the regular for loop and this for loop. Okay. Yeah, I is a temporary variable. Here also I is a temporary variable. Here also I is a temporary variable. AR is the array. You see here, this is my array which I have created to store my values. Notice that normally you just gave statements, but I don't know what you're talking about. So are you all getting about arrays team? This is about single dimensional array. Okay. Now the same way we can have two-dimensional array, basically multi-dimensional array. What do you mean by that? So here single dimension means each and every column just has one value here. But if the same thing, if I just extend this way, okay, this becomes multi-dimensional. Okay, so here it is not just 167, or rather what I will do here, I have indices, so I will just put it above. Okay, so now a of 0 is not just one value, but a of 0 is again another array of values. Okay, so values, a of 1 is having two values and a of 2 is having two values. Are you all getting team? Yes, Arya. Yes, we can use nested loop for assigning values. Correct. Okay, so let us look at an example for assigning values for nested loop. So basically you will have to, so for single dimensional array we were using one single for loop, right? I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. This is how we have been using, right? Now if it is a two-dimensional array, then you have to create one more variable for the second dimension, that is int j equals to, so let me say I. That means, so first you have to refer this array, right? So this I equals to 0, 5 means, okay, let me say 3. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. And now j will refer what? This one, 0, 1, 2. So that means j equals to I, and then j less than whatever array you are referring here, its length is what you have to specify. So b dot, sorry, b of I dot length. Okay, and then j plus plus. Now if I try to print the value, it prints all the values. This out, I can say b of I j. Are you getting it? So for the first iteration, I equals to 0. For I equals to 0, how many iterations will be there inside the second for loop team? For I equals to 0, it is coming here, j equals to 0 and j less than p dot length. B of I means I is 0 first for the first iteration. So b of 0 dot length means this one, right? B of 0, its length is 3. So now it will iterate for 3 times. Okay, where now you say j plus plus. J first time it is I is 0, j is 0. For second iteration, now I is still 0, right? So I will be always 0. J is incremented, j plus plus. So 0 comma 1, and then it will again increment, it becomes 2, so 0 comma 2, so 0 comma 0, 0 comma 1, 0 comma 2. So first it will print for I equals to 0, j 0, 1, 2, it will print these 3 values. Okay, now the length is beyond it, so condition will fail. Now it will come to I plus plus. So now I will become 1 and now it will get inside here. So what you have to do, probably you will have to just initialize every time to 0 instead of assigning to I. So that now I will be 1, okay, and j will be 0. So 1 and 0 is this. Now j is incremented. Now I is 0. I is 1 and j is incremented. J is 1. 7. Okay, so this is 1 comma 0 and this is 1 comma 1. Now next, so this length is over. Now it will come here. Now I becomes 2. So 2 means this is the 1, right? So in this I have to refer these two using j. So j 0. So 2 comma 0 is this first value and then 2 comma 1 is this second value. Are you all getting, team? This will be little confusing, but if you just really get into that logic, it is very simple to understand. So I will just run this. Java 12, there is null pointer exception. Okay, this is no more required. I'll just remove this. I didn't assign values there, so I'm just removing. So how the values are being printed, team? 789, 56, 67, 09. Are you getting, team? So for I equals to 0, j 0, 1, 2. For I equals to 1, j 0, 1. For I equals to 2, j 0, 1. So j will continue for 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1 and 0, 1. Okay. But for each i's value, you know, j will iterate for multiple times as per the size of each a of I. Are you getting now? So basically this is two-dimensional array, which is array of arrays. That means this is one array, this is another array, and this is another array. So here first array you will get it for I equals to 0. So To refer 7, I is 0 and j is 0. To refer 8, I is 0, j is 1. To refer 9, I is 0, j is 2. Are you all getting, team? So, okay, so one of you have suggested to do this. So let me just try this. So, this out. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 56, 67, 0, 9. If you just wanted to have some space here, I can just concatenate some space. Okay, 7, 8, 9. Okay, for the first iteration, this is executed first iteration. So it is printing 7, 8, 9. This iteration, this inner for loop is over. Now it is coming to the outer for loop here, and it is nothing but just going for next line. So it went to next line. Okay, now again it starts with I value 1. So now it gets inside inner for loop, and then it is printing 56, 67. Then coming to outer for loop, and then it is just going for next line. Is that clear now, team? Print will just print, and it will stay, the control will stay there. It will not go for the next line. So the next print will happen just immediately in the same line. But if you give a print line, then it will print and it will take you to the next line. That is the difference. Okay. Is that clear, all of you? Yes, you can use /n as well, /t as well for tab and for next line. Okay. No percentile Ds and all, that is in C, not here. Okay. So team, you don't get confused. First work enough with single dimensional array and then come to 2-dimensional array. Okay. I will just give you this for your practice. Please copy it. See, programming languages, this logic building will be same everywhere. C or wherever you go, C, Python, C sharp, any language you consider, your if conditions, while loops, for loops, all arrays, these will remain the same. Okay, but OOPS concept is what? Which is the feature in Java, Python, C sharp, but it's not the same in C. Okay, there are definitely certain differences, like pointers and all are not available here, but logic building will remain the same anywhere. So if you know how to build the logic for a given scenario in Java, you can do it in any other language. You just need to know that language specific syntaxes. That's it. Okay. So these are some of the things which you have to understand, team. And whenever you see, did you all understand, team? I have used b of I dot length. B of I dot length means what? First time this length, second time this length, third iteration this length. Because you have to read only 3 values for the first time. You have to read only 2 values for the second time. So that length is what you are fetching here. B of I dot length. Correct. Okay. So try to work on the hands-on, team. You will get confidence here. So we have around 11 hands-on which I have shared to you. So tomorrow, if you are enjoying celebrating Holi, then sit and work on these hands on Saturday and Sunday, so that you'll get confidence. Okay. Right. Okay, so that's it for today, team. So by Monday, I want everybody to finish the hands-on till arrays. So first module hands-on should be finished. Okay, and you try to upload. If you're not able to upload, that's okay. Just update me on Monday. Okay, that's not a problem. Uploading is just something to be done in seconds here. If not this Sunday, you will make it next Sunday. But if the work is done, you can submit anytime. So please don't worry for submissions, because that is not pending from your end. If the app is not working, team will take care of it. Okay, you just inform me and leave it. That is fine. But you don't get worried about it. You get worried only if you're not able to get the solution for a specific hands-on. If you're not able to finish the hands-on, then you get worried. If you're not understanding the topic, that is when you get worried. Okay, right, team? So right, there is a small doubt. It seems somebody is saying Saturday is holiday, Saturday, Sunday holiday. So we will be connecting again on Monday. Bhargavi, Chalwati, Bhargavi, what is your question? Okay, I'm sending you the request to unmute. Please unmute, Bhargavi. Others can leave. If you don't have any other questions, you can leave, team. Thank you all. Have a happy Holi. Enjoy your weekend. Also, do spend time working on Java and then come back on Monday. Bhargavi, I have sent you the request. I think you are not unmuting. Vishal. Okay, Vishal, have you raised your hand? Vishal, if you can raise your hand, I can unmute. What's your name? Your name is not at all visible. Vishal. Request sent. Many are leaving, so the names are going away. Sent you the request, Vishal. Can you unmute now? Please try.
Ma'am, it's not me, ma'am. Vishal Singhu.
Oh, I have unmuted somebody else. Oh, Vishal Singhu. Did you get the request, Vishal Singhu?
Ma'am,
Hello?
ma'am, can you hear
Yeah,
me,
yes,
ma'am?
Vishal. Yes, you're
Ma'am,
audible. Tell me.
while downloading my internship offer letter, I had faces some issues so that I can unable to download the PDF. Is there any issue further?
I don't think so. You you got this link and we are continuing with this internship, right? That should be fine.
Yeah, in case, ma'am, in that PDF, there is a onboarding section. We have to fill the names
You will get an email. Ideally, I may not be the right person to answer this. You can just check with your friends, others. They have any dependency on this list downloading. Because I don't know the formalities, because that is taken care by a different team. If you have any suggestions for Vishal, you can let him know. He has a query on he missed downloading the internship letter, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Any issues if you don't download the internship letter? No issue it seems.
Ma'am, I had another doubt too.
Tell me.
Ma'am, this automation testing will be after the joining, we will having the developmental option, or we will be the having only testing of the codes.
It depends. It depends. If there is a requirement for automation, then you have to accept that. But later you can always change your stream. You can jump from testing to development, development to testing. You can do all those later from second project. Okay?
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Bhargavi, tell me.
Ma'am, in internship offer letter, they did not mention that if we do not do the internship, it affects offer letter, ma'am.
It is not written, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can take a call as per your scenario.
Ma'am, if I leave this internship, I will be provided training, ma'am. After that,
internship is different. Even though you are taking the internship, but later when you join Wipro, if the stream is different, you will again get the training.
okay, ma'am. I just want to confirm that will this affect my offer or not, ma'am?
See, ideally, as per the agreement, whatever you have signed in, you have to go through that thoroughly and get to an understanding on that. Because some of your friends have told that it is written like that.
Not, ma'am. It's written that filling is necessary, ma'am. But
Your
not
voice is breaking.
this, no. Excuse me, ma'am. Accepting internship letter or not necessary, ma'am. But not about this, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Sarthak Tyagi. Sarthak, did you raise your hand? Okay, I'm sending you the request to unmute. Can you unmute? Sarthak? I'm sending you the request to unmute. Yes, Sarthak, please speak. You disconnected from audio, Sarthak. I'll do one thing. I will just allow you to unmute yourself. So now you will be able to unmute yourself. One by one, you can unmute and speak.
Ma'am.
Only one.
Ma'am, I got my ADD in Feb batch, and you are also my mentor.